Hello.
Hello.
It's Alex and Geoff from Bareface. This may be the first time you've seen Geoff here, or it may not be, because we did an excellent video a couple of days ago, and I've just noticed that the high pass, the low cut thing on the microphone down here may have been switched on, which might be quite annoying. So we'll see. We'll see how that one sounds, but it's definitely off this time. And what we are doing is we're trying the venerable SVT, borrowed from our friends at Practicality, with the Ampeg 810E. So it's the classic, SVT classic, and we have them up against Bareface 610, that's our 10CR driver, cab, flagship, I don't know, we do an 8x10, but it's really overkill, as you will understand why in a second. And also our big Twin 3, which is our biggest of our 12x10 cabs. So this is a super high accuracy thing, just like a full-blown PA system, subwoofer and all in a box, or a giant studio monitor, you know, big mains, the sorts that have a couple of 15s. This is our take on this, and this is this. And Geoff's done quite a lot of playing through these.
Yes.
Recently.
Many gigs.
Yeah.
All through these, and only these.
Standard backline. So,
yes.
And we have the 50 quid raffle stall for a steam train fundraising thing P-bass that we've just put some new strings on that cost as much as the bass. They're Elixir stainless steel rounds. So we're going to go...
Sounds all in the strings.
Yeah, full on punk. We're not going through the pedal board or anything. Geoff is armed with a pick.
Always, nylon 88's the best kind.
And we're going to start on the 810 and see what we make of it.
Ooh.
In he goes.
Yeah, you can really tell the difference when you change.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm standing in front of this, but they feel more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got the camera on the mic when we're talking, but we're using a U47 type mic down here, so large diaphragm condenser, so the cabs are pointed to be roughly on axis with it and equidistant, so it is a fair comparison. Yeah,
you can really notice it, and it just feels way. You can actually feel those a lot more.
So, what we're hearing here, and hopefully you're hearing that there, is that both these Bareface cabs go deeper than the 810.
But you can physically feel the difference in the sound.
It's a big difference. They're at least as loud,
yeah,
through across the bandwidth. But then it's like you've got this whole extra load of low end available. Which, if you didn't want that low end, you just adjust the bass knob on the amp, and that frees up a ton of power. So suddenly, your 300 watt amp's only having to push out maybe 200 watts, at full tilt. So you've actually got even more headroom, which would then suggest: do you need an SVT? Can you use a Ampeg V4, which is the 100 watt one with a 610, and have something that's as loud and deep as an SVT on an 810, which is a lot. It's actually cheaper, isn't it? Because I know our cabs aren't cheap. But a V4 is a lot cheaper than an SVT.
They're £1,000, £2,000, something like
that. A V4.
Oh no, for the
these
SVT.
are 2.5 or 3.
Oh, okay.
They're really expensive. I mean, they're the industry standard, and they're great sounding heads. But they go to another level, I think, if you hear them through.
Yeah, no, they sound like so much better. The punch is my favourite thing.
Here, let me have a go with some
Go on,
fingers. I've been playing this with a pick actually. I don't normally play with a pick, but let's give it a quick
I'll take the floor.
whirl. So we're on
We're on the 810 at the moment.
810, tone on full. Oh, what should I play?
Well, that's a good question. Only
Okay,
you know.
here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, you can really...
It's the same thing with fingers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just there's a bit more thump. There's a lot less mud to these than that. This is quite exposing, I think. Like,
Yeah.
everything is...
I love that because it sounds like you're just hearing your hands and the bass and
Yeah.
whatever the amp's doing to it. It's very, very honest. I
Yeah.
think it's quite gnarly with a pick. It's
quite
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
Like, you get everything.
What happens if we turn the master down and the gain right up?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make sure we're not overloading. Let's try with some dirt because I've normally played this with distortion.
Okay, so we're on the 810 at the moment.
Yeah. Actually,
we're going all in, so we're going to change the
Let's go
input
all
to
in.
the... Oh God, hello. Get a nice bit of tube
yeah,
saturation.
right. We're driving the front end. Do it again.
That's nice. Yeah, you get way more of the growl from this, actually.
Yeah, that's got the tweeter turned all the way up, the high
Yes.
frequency driver, so you're getting... I tend to find it makes overdrive sound more like distortion, and
Yeah.
then distortion sound more like fuzz, so you have
Yes.
to kind of moderate your dirt more
Obviously,
with
it's that lovely SVT kind of drive, though, so it's quite nice.
That's got more top end on the dirt, hasn't it?
It's it's thumpy. it's nice.
It's almost like it's a little bit scooped in comparison. There's a bit of
Yeah.
There's a nice thickness
Yeah.
on the traditional 810, but it tends towards boom.
Yeah, like a bit too.
It's
like
like
that.
it goes whoomp, but it goes a bit slowly.
Yeah, it definitely. You can tell it moves slower. The transient response isn't quite as good. It's good for. It has a sound.
It certainly does have a sound, and I can see why people like it. But it just goes to show that if you want an epic sound and you want to use tube heads, you don't need to move this. I can't believe how unpleasant this is to move around. I'm a reasonably strong person for my size, and I could barely pick it up. It doesn't have any handles on the side, I think.
No.
Some of them must have handles on the side.
Not the 8. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think it's. But you
Depends
need
on
two
the era
people to
when it was
carry it.
built.
Yeah. But you got that weird like shower rail thing at the back.
Yeah. Right. Shall we try? We've got a slightly different bass.
This is definitely your territory.
I went through a phase of playing 5-string. I seem to have found that I come up with better music with just 4 strings, so I've reverted to 4. But then Ben, who works here, also works part-time doing guitar sets, actually does that more than working at Bareface nowadays, but he did a setup on this, and we've got it tuned. Where's the thing?
You had it first time. It's the challenge.
So this is an extra long scale, custom 5. It's 36 inches long, so the low B is almost as long as on a Dingwall fan fret monster, but then all the strings are that length. It's got these Crazy Q tuner pickups. It's passive with a 4-way switch for the pickup. So neck, series. I shall demonstrate thus.
It's easier to hear than it is to be explained. It's a complicated beast.
Let's give it more. So, neck, series, that's both at once. And then parallel, both at once but in parallel, and then bridge. So it's quite versatile. And we've got it tuned down to A, which I wish I'd done this years ago. Because, I mean, listen to this. Hang on, let's try it on both pickups at once. It's great, isn't it?
The thing is, hearing it is one thing, feeling it's another thing. Like,
if you want to hear the low end on this, you're going to need some epic speakers, awesome headphones, and of course with headphones you can only hear it, you can't feel it.
Don't be listening to this on your phone.
No.
It's not going to work.
No.
You're not going to hear anything. But yeah, it's interesting that this one seems to bring out a lot more of the bridge pickup, I've noticed.
Yeah.
So you kind of get a lot more bite. Again, it's probably because of the tweeter and how kind of clear and open they sound. That thuds.
Yeah, I've been really surprised at how good the 610 sounds with these lower tunings. The growliness. The thickness. But without the thickness that...
It's a different kind of thickness. That's like low end, and then you got like it's a slightly higher. Should we say?
Yeah, the highs go higher on that, don't
they? Yeah.
Than on that.
And that seems to be like low, like the upper bass or the low mids kind of thing. It's around about that where it kind of like woofs a bit. Like
it's quite interesting because people often talk about mixing kick drums and bass guitars. I mean, it's like it's so often people say kick drum here, bass guitar above it.
Well, you got two different forms.
Yeah,
of mixing
but I feel that if you're playing through this, you don't get a choice about going under the kick drum.
Oh, you have to be above it.
You have to be above it because it doesn't reach under. Once that will reach under if you want it to, or you can come above, depending on the type of kick drum sound you have. So you've got the options. You know, I'm amazed how many reggae bassists use these. Now I think about it, and how many 5 strings in metal.
Yeah. I suppose it's just
down tuning.
What's there?
It's a default. It's just common. I mean, they're tough. They're robust. They're loud. But there are better solutions nowadays which you can carry.
Yes.
This is comically easy to pick up. I mean, I'll just click that switch. But no, I'm not a giant person. I'm 5'10" and I'm about 80 kilos, 180 pounds or so, as they would say. There we are. We've got some handles.
2 handles on both sides. That's good.
There we go. And it's shallow front to back, so you can fit through doors. It's slightly narrower than an 810 cab. It's the same width as an SVT head. It's 610mm, 24 inches wide. And it is, it's not a tiny cab, but you can definitely move it on your own.
Up the stairs.
Yeah, and if you have no roadies or very friendly bandmates, I don't see how you can move a fridge on your own, unless you can wheel it from your garage into your van or your pickup truck and then into the venue. But that doesn't work in Britain. We have stairs everywhere. US might manage it.
Yeah.
Australia might manage it.
I've tried moving these before and I don't like it. They're heavy as well. Like, for how the difference in weight is ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Like,
the other thing we've noticed, because I thought these heads were really heavy, then I picked one up and thought, oh, it's not that bad really. Then I tried putting it on top of the cab and I was like, oh, it's like doing... So it's fine getting it down, and then when it's on the floor, let's wind downward so we can see. I mean, they're great sounding heads. They really are. And they're not that bad to just sort of carry around. You wouldn't want to walk great distances with it. And they're
putting on nice and easy.
Really quite easy to put on those. And they look cool.
That does look quite good actually, doesn't it?
But the getting it that bit higher...
I'm not going to help him. It's like an Atlas stone.
It is, exactly. There you go.
World's strongest
I'm not
man.
in the right holes this time. So hang on.
For the first time.
No, still missed. In. There, I've won the Atlas stones. Great head. If you've got one and you haven't been gigging with it because it's too annoying, buy one of these and this will be much less annoying. Because it's a great head. They shouldn't be staying at home.
No.
They should be going places.
They're designed for travelling around. Like,
they're good.
They should be in the back of a van.
But pair it with one of those.
And it sounds incredible.
Yeah. If you want to pair it with this, you will notice that it doesn't look quite right. Because...
Oh, it's a balancing act.
It's wider. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But if you're interested in having a cab that sounds like this, but looks like this, we are planning to do one. And the sooner more people say, I want a retro, old school looking, because you can have this with a cloth grille. And this is Tolex, so you can have any choice of Tolex colour.
White as well. Like.
Different colour shades of cloth. Black and silver are 2 standard choices. We're planning to do a retro looking one of these, so the ports will be hidden. It will look vintage, old school like that. So if you want it to match with your valve head, and it'll be wider, different shape. So it'll be basically that squished, because they're actually, this is narrower than that, but this is deeper than that, so the internal volume is basically the same. So that, the beast of all 2x12s, you can have it in the cutting edge high-tech look, or you can have it in the stealth
traditional
vintage thing. You can turn up and people will be like, oh, that's a cool old school sounding rig, and then you can proceed to play a 7-string with weird squat. You know, Thundercat can do his thing through it.
You blow them away.
Yeah, do some really cool stuff. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We're going to do more of these because we're enjoying the big beast. I think it's interesting to compare a reference point like that, and these are great.
And there's other things coming along.
There are more things. I'll give you a quick look. What are they building in there? Yeah. Anyway, Thank you. We've been
Cheers.
Geoff and Alex from Barefaced. We've got new hoodies as well, which we're going to sell. So if you want one before Christmas, get on the website or email us and you can have one just in time. Thank you. And goodbye.
Bye-bye.